Hey everyone, how's it going? Just wanted to share my haul for approximately the last 2 weeks. I've been going to conventions again and some online pickups that I've made. Usually I'll pick up some stuff at my local comic shop also. A little bit about me, I've been collecting for approximately 40 years on and off, more on than off. Huge X-Men fan. I have a pretty large, extensive collection of X-Men. Also, Spider-Man is my second focus. So I'm going to show you some books now that I picked up at the Big Apple Comic Con in Manhattan. It was actually a really good show. Got some very good deals and met some pretty nice dealers there that were willing to work with you, if you purchased. The first book we're going to go over is picked up an Amazing Spider-Man number 45. Book I rated about a fine to a fine plus. It's a really nice book for the time that it is. It's almost it's 1967, I believe this book came out, so books, got some time to it. It's got a little bit of impact damage, if you see up on the top corner over there. A little blunting of the corners also. It also has a date stamp on it, which I don't have an issue with. Some people do. But other than that, I mean, the colors are really bright on this book. They pop well. The back cover also looks really, really good. So I was very pleased with this book. Next book is Amazing Spider-Man 56, another yellow covered back book. This book is another book that I really liked. It's the first appearance of Captain Stacy. Again, this book is probably a very fine to a fine. I try and collect high-end books if I can, for the most part. But as you can see, it's got a little bit of, color break on the top. Corners might not be completely rounded off, especially on the bottom corner, but still this book presents really well. There's very few spine ticks on the side. I couldn't even really see. There's one right there near the staples, if anything. But other than that, I mean, this book looks really, really good for its age and everything, so I was pleased with this book. Here's the next one I got. Amazing Spider-Man number 58. This is the second appearance of the Spider Slayer costume. It's the newer version that Jameson purchased from Smythe. Again, this book is really, really nice. Picked it up for a decent price as part of a collection that I was purchasing. And if you look along, you'll see there's a few spine ticks, but not too bad. Corners are sharp on this book. Colors are really vibrant. I always try and look for a book that presents well. Try and keep it in my collection. Now here's another one. I just couldn't pass this book up. I already have one in my collection. This is a little better than mine, but the deal on this was, it was really cheap. I couldn't believe it when I was going through the box and I saw it. It has an issue on it. If you look real close, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a bit of a spine roll. I believe that's something that I could get pressed out. Bring the grade up really well on this book. It really doesn't have, if you go down, there's a little color loss on the top corner in the purple. Go down, the spine tick right there, 2 spine ticks. But another cover that really, really presents well. Corners are pretty sharp on this book too. So again, another yellow cover. I don't know what it is with the 60s and yellow covers, but this is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy on a cover of the Amazing Spider-Man. I was pretty surprised. I mean, she showed up at like issue 31 and doesn't get a cover until issue 61, so it's pretty interesting when I was researching that. Next book here is another one that I picked up at the Big Apple Comic Con. Amazing Spider-Man number 78, first appearance of the Prowler. I mean, this is just great artwork. I love the covers from the 60s and 70s. Just they really knew how to make great covers. Romita was phenomenal in my book. But again, a really nice book, probably a very fine. There's some color breaks right near where the staple is at. A little bit up on the top left corner, if you can see that there. But overall, just another really, really nice book. I was glad to add this book to my collection. Then the last Spider-Man book I'm going to show you is a book that I didn't have in my collection. I've been trying to get for a while, but I wanted a really nice copy of it, and finally I was able to get her at the convention again. I was able to get a nice deal, and that's Amazing Spider-Man 252, first appearance of the black costume. Although the black costume showed up in Secret Wars number 8, this book actually was out to the market before that, so that, you know why it's considered the first black costume. And again, this book is beautiful. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's really a sharp book. I would put this in a very fine to near mint condition. Probably going to send it to CGC and get it slabbed, hoping to get at least a 9.0 on it. But once again, I was very I with it. Next book I picked up at this show was X-Men number 45. I mean, great cover there. Look at Quicksilver there battling Cyclops. Just a phenomenal cover. This book, again, really nice book. I would say it's in the fine to very fine rate. Got a little dirt along where the numbers are at, but for the most part, I mean, look at this. This book is just sweet. I like it a lot. I have a copy of this, but this is an upgrade on my copy. So every chance I get, especially with my X-Men and Spider-Man books, I try and get upgrades on these books. Just a really nice copy. And the last book I picked up at the show was another key issue for me to have. Been looking for this in a good condition, a really nice shape. It's a little pricey, but you know, I have a love for the X-Men that's been around for 30 years. So, and that's X-Men 101, first appearance of the Phoenix. When I saw this book, I knew I just had to have it. So, you know, I made a deal with the guy, picked up a couple of Spider-Man books, and he gave me a really nice price. This book is sweet, though. I would say probably a 9.0. A little bit off on the top corner there with a little overhang, but just a great book. This also, for me, was a milestone because now I have a complete run from issue 94 all the way through to issue 400. This was the only book that I needed, so really happy to have this in my collection. It was a big key for me to have. I'm just gonna go through and show you a couple more books that I picked up at that show, and that would be Batman 635, appearance of the Red Hood. It's second incarnation of a Red Hood. That's when Jason Todd, although Batman doesn't know it yet, is the Red Hood. Nice book, and I got it for a good deal there. You know, good piece to have in your collection. Then 641. I believe this is the issue where Batman finds out that Jason Todd is alive and that he's the Red Hood. You know, I mean, well-written storyline. I really enjoyed this. It's a good read for anyone who hasn't read it yet. If you get the chance, take a look. Okay, let me just show you some stuff that I picked up on the internet within the last 2 weeks. Got Avengers 257, first appearance of Nebula. You know, nice, fine to very fine shape. A nice book to have. This book, I saw some guys talking about it online and on the internet, and got it for a really sweet deal on an online site, so I couldn't pass it up. It's Sergeant Fury number 89. It's the first time Nick Fury has his eye patch. It's the origin of his eye patch. Nice book, a real nice book. No complaints. Colors still look vibrant on it. You know, I will put this book in a fine to very fine condition. I'm very happy with it. Also, picked up another Bronze Age X-Men. This is that classic Claremont and Byrne run, and every chance I get, I just can't help myself. I pick these books up continuously. I don't think I'll pass it up if I ever see it in the very fine to near mint condition that they are. I mean, just look at this book. Beautiful cover work. Just great appearance by Sunfire in this book. I'm really happy with this book. Next book I have, another classic book there, and that Byrne run is X-Men 136. I mean, the cover says it all, you know. Look at the anguish on Cyclops' face. I mean, everybody's shocked. It's just a great book. Again, this book, I'll probably put this at a very fine plus, almost a near mint book. You know, just happy I got a really good deal on an online site, so couldn't pass it up. Picked this book also. It's got a nice early appearance of Sauron. It's also the book where Polaris decides that she's going to join the X-Men as a team member. Real nice. I like it. Shows really vibrant for a book of its age. Look at the corners on this book. It's just sweet. You know, colors are popping on this. I mean, I had to have it as soon as I saw it. It's an upgrade on the book I have, so no complaints. Next few books I'm going to show you are a couple of books that I bought online. More modern stuff, but I kind of like this character. I know she's very popular, but so far I think Rodriguez is doing a great job. You know, they're making great storyline. The artwork's really good. This is a variant for it that I picked up. I'm very pleased with it. I really like the cover. You know, think it looks good. Here's another variant that I picked up for it. And this one had 3 different variants. It had just a color version, a black and white version, and then it had a black and white and color mix version. I like the color one the most. It looked really good. Also, couldn't pass up on these. And I picked up 3 copies of this Spider-Gwen variant. It's an homage to, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 300. But I think it had a print run of 1,000 for this book. So I picked up 3 copies. It was a pretty decent price, so couldn't leave it alone. Next book I picked up is next best new thing since Spider-Gwen, and that's Silk. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man #4. This is the Humberto Ramos's variant cover. Just got this on eBay actually, and it was pretty good. I got it at the end for a pretty decent price, but it's a little pricey. I believe this is like the 1 in 10 or 1 in 25 variant. You know, so I can't go wrong with it. Next book, I picked up a couple of Civil War, Amazing Spider-Man. He gets the spider armor. Just nice books to have in the collection. All with all the hype about Spider-Man coming over and possibly being part of that Civil War tie line. These are nice books to have if you haven't read the storyline. Great storyline to read, you know. And the last one that I picked up off this series was 538. Couldn't get 537. It wasn't in the collection. And 537, yeah, right. And the last book I picked up, couldn't beat the price on these. I got these for $3 a piece, so I picked up X-Force #2, second appearance of Cable. Second appearance of Deadpool. And, you know, second appearances are big right now. If you can't afford that first appearance in the New Mutants '98, then, you know, this is a really good book to have. Anyway, that's about everything that I've picked up within the last 2 weeks. I'm looking to start putting out more videos, probably every 2 weeks to a month. I'm going to show you a little bit more of my X-Men collection, all the CGC X-Men books that I have, as well as what I pick up at the local shops, any variants or anything else. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to ask away. Thanks. I'll talk to you guys soon.